many a times we're just working our 9 to 5. I mean, for those of you that are abroad, you understand 9 to 5. For those of you in Nigeria, that's just working from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Right?
Yes,
That you are just working, but then your purpose is left abandoned. I said earlier about the career and the purpose, right? Your job is what they pay you to do. So I work 9 to 5, they pay me for that 9 to 5. But what about your purpose? What about what God has called you to do? What about the reason why you're here? A lot of times it gets lost in the hustle of 9 to 5. And everybody needs to understand that I wrote in my book, Purposeful Living, that after 9 to 5, that's when the real work begins.
Yes.
After 9 to 5, there is a real work that God has for you. And that work is what will count in eternity. The 9 to 5 is not going to count in eternity. God's not going to ask me, were you able to pay your bills? God's not going to ask you, the house that you lived in, did you enjoy it? The car that you drove, did you enjoy it? No. God's going to ask you, what did you do with the time I gave you? So it is important for us as believers to understand that while I'm doing my 9 to 5, those hours that I am home should not be relegated to television, to internet, to social media. I should use that time to work on myself, to work on my business, to work on my passion, to work on my calling. I should use that time to develop myself in one area or the other, so that my time on earth is not relegated to just my job, but my time on earth is also, I've allocated time to my passion, my purpose. Let me also share more. A lot of times our struggle is because we are just living, we're just working to pay bills. We are not thinking outside the box. We're only working to pay bills. So people live their life 7 days a week. All they're doing is working so that the bills are paid. No. When are you going to work on your own dreams? When are you going to work on your own passion? When are you going to work on your own business? When are you going to own a business? You are not called to make somebody else rich. You are called by God to also serve your generation with your own gift and talents. So when I work for my employer, I am making him rich. He's getting richer at my expense. So you also need to work on your own assignment, your own business, your assignment on the face of the earth. So I believe that when people are able to differentiate between these two and understand that, hey, life is about purpose, I can't just get distracted in another. Also, another mistake people make is they get distracted in another man's purpose. Let me give you an example. The pastor of a church is fulfilling his purpose. What about you? He's preaching, he's teaching. Everybody's being blessed by his ministration. That man is fulfilling his purpose. What about you? What about your purpose? What about your mission on earth? What is God calling you to do? Right? So we should not be an onlooker in another man's dream. We should also be asking ourselves this question: what has God called me to do? And let me also be using my time to fulfill that purpose, just like my pastor is doing, so that at the end of it all, God's name is glorified.